you became this phenom, this songwriting phenom at such a young age. I find it fascinating how people can blow up so young, like almost accidentally. Like
it was completely accidental.
You were 15 when I Hate You, I Love You went viral, right?
So basically, when I was a kid, even since I was 7, I find like old notebooks in my house of me writing songs. Like just their lyrics are so fucking stupid, but
you were 7.
I mean, yeah, but it was like, I remember one lyric, it was like, me and you, we were a crew, like talking about like a guy I had a crush on. Like that was, I don't know.
That's literally better than half the shit I've heard on the radio.
But I find all of these like old things that I wrote when I was literally 7 years old. So I've always been writing songs, but my sister was always, what are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Mike's mic came unplugged.
He always unplugs it with his foot.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry.
My sister was always a singer in my family, and she used to tell me that I was really bad. I would sing in my room, like when I thought no one was home, and she would come in my room and be like, shut the fuck up, you sound like shit.
God.
We all had that sibling, that one sibling.
We had an interesting relationship. So I never was confident, and then when I was a freshman in high school, I started getting really into SoundCloud, and I started posting covers on SoundCloud, and then eventually I was like, oh, maybe I should post some of my original songs that I write. And I posted a couple, and I remember I was on a field trip, and I was in the school bus, and these 2 guys on the back of the bus were playing my songs that I'd posted and making fun of me. And I went home and I deleted every original song I ever posted and never posted one again. And then
I know
what.
You have such an overlapping story.
I know.
And you need to give the audience a warning about it, to not fucking do that.
Yeah. So here's the warning, because I had a similar experience. I made a body of work when I was young, from like maybe 10 to 13. And a girl made fun of me in my YouTube videos because they were pretty cringy, which they were, but it really got to me. And by the way, I'll just say, she was a thought, dude. Like, she was a fucking thought, but it affected me. And I deleted all the videos. So like the first 50 videos of me making YouTube content are offline. Don't let other people influence what you do with your work. Continue.
Yeah. No, I mean, I wish I didn't do that, but it's also like things worked out the way that they did for a reason.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's whatever. I only had like 2 songs, and I don't even remember what they were, but yeah, it was just really crazy. And then when I did I Hate You, I Love You, so basically I tweeted a cover that I did of Gnash's song. He only had 1 song out at the time, and he was opening up for Black Bear and Mod Sun on tour, and I was a really big fan of Black Bear. And I was going to go to the show. So I looked up all of the opening acts, and I found him, and I liked the song. So I posted a cover on SoundCloud, and he found it, and he DM'd me, and he was like, come to the show, I'll put you on the list, which I thought that was the fucking coolest thing in the entire world. I was like, I'm on the list. And then he asked me after the show if I had any original music, and I sent him I Hate You, I Love You. And he was like, come to LA, let's record this. So my dad and I drove down to LA, and I was so scared I didn't even want to go in. He like had a studio, and he lived with his parents, and he had a garage in the back with a little studio, and I was like crying outside. I was like, I don't want to go in, I'm scared, like I'm not a good singer. And then I went back and I recorded it. He added a verse on it, and we originally just put it on SoundCloud. And then people just started liking it. There was a bunch of YouTubers, like Andrea Russet was one of the first people to post it when it was just on SoundCloud, and then ended up on like Kylie Jenner's Snapchat story. Whoa. And she was like, this is the saddest song ever, I love it. And then it just suddenly was like on the radio everywhere, and like basically it took I think a year for it to peak after that. But that was the first song I ever put out, and without that I don't think I would have ever gotten into music. I would have never had the confidence to do it. I wouldn't have known where to start. Like I needed my first song to be 5 times platinum in order to even try. So I think it was kind of what I needed.
I didn't know that was the first.
How could you not know?
First song that. Well, I thought like maybe there was some other track. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I was kind of fate.
What did that feel like to have that level of success on a first song? Did you, when you were recording your next stuff, did you have to take into account like, there's a potentially low chance that I could follow this up with another song of this level because of how big it was? And did that fuck with you at all?
Well, part of me was like, I didn't, like I wrote that song just on piano, but that's because that's all I knew how to do. I didn't know how to produce music, so I would just write things on piano. But once I could get in with producers, I was like, oh, I want to make this kind of music, and I want to make this kind of music. My first single that I put out after I Hate You, I Love You was called Trust Issues, and it's me, like the first part is like a freestyle that I did. It's like almost me rapping, like not actually, but it's like faster flow, and it has like more like R&B pop production. So I wanted to figure out what my sound was. And because I had that song, I didn't feel like, oh, I have to follow this up and I have to keep doing this. Because I was 15 years old. I wasn't ready. And if I had success after that and those first songs I put out did something, I wouldn't be the artist that I am today, because I had to take the time to discover my sound and figure out my style and get confident. I was so insecure. Everyone bullied me at my high school. Like, anything that I did was just, I couldn't do anything right. And I left my school and I had to make new friends in LA and create myself. And it took me years. And I feel like I'm finally at the point where I'm like proud of my music and proud of my style and the way I look and how I act and all of that stuff. So I'm kind of glad I didn't have a hit after that.